The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 243 of a daily deck review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the Postage Paid playing cards from King's Wild Project. So, with no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. But before we start, these are still fully sealed in the cellophane, so we're gonna take the wrapper off, and it already is like falling off. So we'll just grab it from here and see if we can tear right into it. Okay, now that that's off, you can see that it is in a matte finish tuck box, and it is like that kind of like cardboard colorway, so that like lighter brown cardboard color. And this is more of like a sideways box compared to like a more vertical, so it's more horizontal style, and it's supposed to look like a package in the mail there, because you got the stamp in the corner there, and that also is embossed, and yeah, that stamp there in the corner is embossed. It almost looks like a real stamp. It almost looks like you can take it off. It might be a sticker on there, I'm not entirely sure. We got that stamp there in the corner. That says King's Wild Project on the top. And it just shoots straight down below. And then you got the little stamp, the ink stamp over top, which says playing cards. And then the King's Wild Project logo there. And it says Postage Paid by King's Wild Project. Fine quality playing cards. And on the side, it says designed by Jackson Robinson, distributed by King's Wild Project. And just their location. These were made in PRC. Then you got the King's Wild Project little logo there. On the side it just says King's Wild Project. And on the back, as you can see, you got another stamp for the seal. This is the seal because this is where you open the cards. And then you got another stamp style seal there. This is actually like a stamp. That says playing cards, and then you got 10 cents US postage, and then you got the 4 pips in each corner. And then you got the King's Wild Project kind of little stamp over top of that. And it says Postage Paid on the top here. And on the other side, well, that's the whole tuck box. Now I guess we'll just crack right into this and see how this opens. I'm not sure how it opens. So let me just press down on that, see how I can open that. I don't know if I need my card opener or not. But this seal is definitely going to be ripped. There's no way of... Oh, wait, no, I might be able to open it without... Oh, okay. It opened up nice without ruining that seal. And it's kind of like a package or an envelope style kind of tuck box where it opens like an envelope. You can see the cards on the inside. So we'll take those out. And on the inside of the tuck box, it's just that kind of cardboard, kind of brown kind of colorway there. Nothing too crazy going on inside the tuck box. But it's a pretty nice tuck box with that different way to open them. Now that we took a look at the tuck box, come take a look at the cards. And first we'll start with that back design. Here we have what appears to be a mirrored back design with almost a standard white border. You still got the little white around the edges. You got somewhat of a standard white border with the back design here. It looks like another stamp there. And you got the King's Wild Project little logo there in the middle there in the red. And the rest of it is blue and it says Postage Paid. And you got the 13 cents there in the middle. And then you got like the stamp style, the stamp edges, with the rough little edges there around. So it makes the little white border not like a full white border, but you still got somewhat of a white border on. And it is a mirrored back done. So you flip it over, it's the same design in both directions. And these are made somewhere in Europe, so they're not going to be like, so they definitely feel, you can definitely tell that they're not United States Playing Card Company, just because the way they feel, you can feel like difference right away. But anyways, now on to the cards you get with the deck. And here we start with the first Joker here, and it's You got the Joker there on in laying on like the moon there. And you got that like it says Mule Shoe March 2020 Texas. So these cards are maybe from 2020. Anyways, but you got the ink stamp over top, and you got another little stamp there. And then you got a part of a stamp over here. And you got some text down here, which I can't really read. And you got the two stars there. And then for the second Joker, it's same like you got the Joker there in the corner, in the middle, sitting on the moon there with a little envelope in his hand. Then you have different stamps and little ink stamps there over top. And then for the custom Ace of Spades, same kind of design there. You got the King's Wild Project, little shield there inside the spade there. You got King's Wild going through it. And you got some more ink stamps on top with some more other paper stamps underneath there in the red and blue colorways. And that says first class over here. And then the rest of those cards, spades, have like this custom spade pip. And then it looks like they all have some kind of little ink stamp with a different location. And they all have like a regular like paper stamp on them. So I won't explain every single one. But they'll have different like ink stamps with different places on them. So they're all pretty similar, but the ink stamps are just different colors. I mean different places, like different words and places. Then we get to the court cards here. Jack, Queen, and King of spades. They're pretty like normal looking court cards, other than they got stamps on them there. And then the words on the edges there. But they're in different languages, or not different language, just in cursive writing. It's a little bit more hard to see and read. Well, and then you got all the pips are slightly custom. Got the custom pips for all the cards here. They all have that stamp. So I'll just quickly go through them here. They're pretty much all similar. And the court cards, once again, standard, but slightly custom court cards, I guess. They'll have their stamps, but each of the suits have their own different stamp, and it's not the same kind of like paper stamp, like the ink stamp's the same, just different like locations and words on it. But then like the little paper stamp is different on each of the cards. I mean each of the suits. And you got the King's Wild Project little logo card here. And then you got a double backer of the back design. Now that we took a look at the cards on the text, the handling. And first we'll start with the springs. And right away I gotta say, these cards are extremely stiff and on the thick side. I can barely spring these things. It takes me all my like strength to flex these things and get them to spring. So you definitely have to break these in to get them to spring at all. Because if you're not used to springing cards, then you won't be able to spring these at all. Like I spring cards almost on the daily, and these are hard to spring. I can get them to spring, but it's really hard. They're not like terrible springs, they're just really hard to spring. So these have to be broken in. And now we'll move on to the fans. And I didn't mention that the face cards are kind of more of like an off-white, kind of like yellowish kind of white. More like fully, and they're fully inked on the fronts. As you can see, they spread pretty evenly. You can see most of the pips and the numbers. There's no real stickiness or clumpiness to the fans. Now on to the Pharaoh. And that Pharaoh was not smooth at all, because they would not interlock and weave right away. I kind of had to like push them and slide them to even try to get them to interlock and weave. They did interlock and weave eventually, and pretty smoothly, but not like flawless or anything. There was a little bit of like misaligned cards. Now for a giant fan of that back design. Now for that reverse Pharaoh. And the reverse Pharaoh is definitely much more smoother, and they interlocked and weave pretty flawlessly. Now for a giant fan of the faces. Now for the riffle shuffle or bridge shuffle. Now you can definitely tell these are thicker cards when going to riffle them, but they make for some good riffles and bridge shuffles. So there's no issues there with the riffle shuffles. They're pretty nice and smooth. No issues there. Now on to the packet cuts. Well, the packet cuts are pretty nice. They pack it together really nicely. Not overly slippery, but at points they can be a little bit slippery. But the packet cuts are nice and smooth there. A little bit above average for the packet cuts. And now time for the one-handed cut or Charlier cut. Now time for the dribble. It got some pretty smooth dribbling. No real difference there, other than the cards just keep wanting to slide out of my hands. But other than that, pretty normal and smooth dribbles. Now time for that spread fan. And lastly, spread the cards on the table. Well, like I say, a fantastic King's Wild Project deck here. No, it's a nice little back design there. Because it's supposed to look like a postage deck, like a package in the mail. It's like that stamp, like the stamp themed deck. Here was the back design, which is a stamp. Which is a nice back design there. And then you got the fully custom faces, which all have like the little stamp and like the ink stamp on them, which is nice and unique to see something on every single card there. And they all have the different like places there on them. That's a Chicago. That one says Array. That one says Salt Lake City. Utah. So they're all like fully custom faces there because they all have different places on them, which is unique. So a pretty nice design there. And Kings Wild is known for their nice and luxury custom decks there. They're elegant and special, like kind of like design decks. And then for the handling, these are made in PRC or by PRC. I always forget. Oh, that's the Public something of China. So these were, yeah, it's the Public was something of China. So these are the decks that are made in China by the, I always forget. No, I always forget that manufacturer over there. So you can definitely tell they're different stock and finish compared to your normal, like most people are used to United States Plank Company, Erica's Finish. And you can tell this is a different finish to it. So it has a more glossy kind of like finish to it and it's slightly more smoother. So you can definitely tell it's a different kind of stock and finish to it. But it's always nice to test out the different stocks and finishes. And then for their handling, they handle okay. No, nothing overly crazy. They're definitely on the more stiffer side. So you're definitely going to have to use them for a long time before they're broken in and a little bit more loose and softer. But it's not like terrible handling. They still handle okay. It's definitely not my favorite kind of like handling kind of cards. But they still handle like averagely normal. There's nothing overly special. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. And this has been day 243 of a daily deck view. This has been the Postage Paid playing cards from King's Wild Project. And I'm the Canadian Card Collector signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.